Live from planet Earth. It's the show where we give no fucks. We are savage and we are the truth.
Alright, so a lot of bullshit continues to happen in Impact Wrestling. They're running Bound for Glory on a Friday. I don't understand it. Free to chime in whenever you want, Yamari. Help me make sense of why Bound for Glory is running on a Friday.
You said try to make sense of it, or why does it?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know how you could make sense of Impact running one of their biggest pay-per-views every year on a Friday. I just don't see how that's a logical. That's not any logical way to spin that, other than either be cheap, lazy, really put all their effort into this pay-per-view, which it seemed like they didn't just by looking at some of the preview of what's going to be happening at Bound for Glory this Friday. So, I mean, there's really no other way to to kind of express how ridiculous and silly and stupid it is to put one of your biggest shows on Friday, and it's competing, not really even competing, because Impact doesn't really have the highest numbers, as we all know, compared to AEW and WWE, who has the biggest numbers on Friday. WWE being number one because SmackDown always reaches around like 2.3 million, and maybe even higher than that sometimes. So I don't understand the logic of putting your biggest pay-per-view on a Friday.
Yeah, so we're gonna go with these attendance. This is Bound for Glory's attendance. There's well over 100 tickets left for a general admission of $50. 50 tickets is equivalent to almost $1,600 of revenue. So there is over 200, close to 200 tickets still available. That means that's how much money they're losing out on running the show on a Friday with SmackDown and AEW's Dynamite. So I'm not making sense of it. This is the viewership. They only get 100,000 viewers last week. And that was up from the previous week where they got 80,000, over 80,000 viewers. So why in the fuck would they think in their mind two major wrestling companies that draw so much they could get pay-per-view buys, charge $30 to $50 for a pay-per-view and ticket sales and still think they can outrun the WWE and AEW, the two biggest promotions? It makes no fucking sense to me. And what do I hear, Yamari? I think I hear violins, because it's the same old fucking sad song that I hear every week about Impact Wrestling and how their promotion department and how their shit is so fucking mid. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
All right, enough of that sad shit. All right, let's move on.
To get up here and do this in 2022 is fucking embarrassing. And if y'all are at fault, fuck you. If you're not, I apologize. But what did I ever do in this world to deserve an empty-headed fucking dumb fuck like Hangman Adam Page to go out on national television and fucking go into business for himself? For what? What did I do? Dave, what did I ever do? Didn't do a goddamn thing. What's your name, sir? Fuck the Pittsburgh Penguins. What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
I made it really clear in Forbes, and I just want to make it clear again. Nick,
It's not his position to make it very fucking clear. There's people who call themselves EVPs that should have fucking known better. This shit was none of their business. I understand sticking up for your fucking friends.
I'm not going to comment on that.
I'll tell you why I'm upset about it is because if you're an EVP, you don't try to middle your top baby face. Try to get your niche audience that's on the internet to hate him for some made up bullshit rumor. Really pisses me off. Stepping on your own dick, trying to fucking, make money, sell tickets, fill arenas. And the reason I've never defended myself is because when you do, it just sounds like you're being defensive. But I've eaten shit on this subject for a very, very long time. And I'm very sad today that I had to get up here and say his name. He doesn't fucking deserve it, and talk about it. But facts are facts, Name 2 people that have made the most money off the name CM Punk. I don't think you're there yet. The first one's Vince McMahon. The second one's Scott Colton.
Apparently, we were supposed to be shocked when he said Scott Cole. Like, okay, we get it. But so I queued up the violin music because it was just fucking sad. Because every 3 or 4 years, when Punk gets into a wrestling company, he does this shit. So what he does is he goes into a wrestling company. He acts like he's part of the locker room, to be a locker room leader or rally up the troops, right?
Yeah.
To get himself over, to be the top guy so everybody can get behind him, to push him to where he's at, because he's still, in his fucking weird head, still think he is still an indie guy. When fuck, bro, you're CM Punk, no one's going to stab you in your back. You don't need to do that same old shit. Several wrestlers have come out and talked about, from Booker T to Chris Jericho, to Kevin Owens, who was Kevin Steen, to Teddy Hart, to you name it, about how this guy is in the locker room. And I was just going over the press conference, man. And first of all, he called Adam Page a brain dead idiot, which is very unprofessional, right? This was not kayfabe, by the way, people. This is real. And Tony Khan, his boss, was like, okay, we declined the questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he cut him off and said, no, this is not your place. Bro, that is the fucking boss of the company. Just imagine you go to your job and you tell the fucking CEO or the head guy of the company, this is not your place. Could you imagine a star athlete going in to an owner's box and say it's not your place? Do you know how quick they would trade his ass?
Right.
And then he starts making comments about how the Young Bucks are leaking information. Even if they are, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like this is all unprofessional. And then he makes a comment about how only 2 people have drew for him and made him money. Bro, that motherfucker Tony Khan, shout out to you, Tony. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I felt so bad for you. I had a lot of empathy just watching you, in that press conference, trying to get things escalated down and calm down. And you paying this guy millions of dollars, and he's sitting there talking about he never made no money with you. I don't know. From what I heard, them T-shirt sales was going crazy. From what I heard, that they were paying you a lot of money. So apparently he is putting money in your pocket. So what? Who are you to sit there and just disrespect your boss, who seems like one of the nicest guys in the world? And we do give him a hard time because he's so nice. But in this particular instance, I thought this was so unprofessional and so messed up. You know what I mean? It's so disrespectful on AEW and so disrespectful on disrespecting Tony like that, man. That was very messed up.
Even though I disagree with a lot of stuff that Tony Khan does, as far as booking and who he decides to bring in and put on his team. Um, Even though I don't necessarily, I'm not the biggest fans of the Young Bucks or Kenny Omega. I do think that it was very unprofessional that CM Punk would go out on a media scrum and, basically go on the whole rampage and rant on these, on these actually five individuals, because he talked about, you know, uh, Hangman at a page. He talked about the Bucks. He talked about Omega. He talked about Colt Cabana. And not only that, he disrespected, his
Oh, and he
boss.
talked about MJF too. I just gave you a 2 minute clip, but he
Like
ran down other people too. I just
those,
we just
well,
didn't
more
have
than
time for the rest. It was 15 minutes of him doing that shit.
yeah. I mean, I watched the whole entire scrum, and I mean, it
Yeah,
was more than just Shakespeare's name, but he out of all people, he disrespects his boss. And if I was Tony Khan, I would have fired him. I'm not
yeah,
gonna lie, I would have fired him. And I would have, I would have definitely have fired him right on the spot. Um,
yeah,
because I mean, to say that, the only two people who's made money off of me is Colt Cabana and Vince McMahon. Well, Tony Khan, I don't think you're there yet. But, that's
yeah,
a huge insult because when CM Punk debuted, in AEW, I mean that was the biggest debut in AEW history. As long as the company's been around, so he had the biggest merchandise sale, than anybody in that company. I mean, MJF is giving him a run for his money. I could tell you that for sure. But he everything that was said CM Punk was definitely sold and sold out. So to say that to your boss who brings you in, gives you another opportunity in wrestling, and then pays you all this money, and you slap him in the face by saying that I don't think you deserve a job there. And to me, he's become the Ryback of wrestling now. I mean, he's just another Ryback.
yeah, yeah. It's just pretty sad, man. It's really sad. That it's gotten to that. This is a guy I thought was a supporter of for a while, and then I even defended him when he was talking about the Triple H thing. But now that I see what's going on and all the wrestlers and stuff, I really believe that he is definitely a cancer to the locker room of any company. I don't
Yeah,
think he would be from ROH to WWE to now, and for him to go in the back and to punch one of the young bucks in the face. The guys that don't do alcohol, the Christian guys, I'm not saying because they're Christian, I'm just saying that these guys are pretty straight, narrow guys. I've never heard anyone talk bad about them. Never. And so they so basically these guys that don't bother anybody, they never had that reputation or anything, regardless if they do or don't. I never heard it. And just punch one of the guys in the face, start pounding on him, and then bite Kenny Omega. Your friend comes in and bites Kenny Omega, and you guys are fighting with them, and like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? You know what I mean?
when I heard that his friend came in the room, I forgot his friend's name because he's just irrelevant.
A still.
Yeah, him biting somebody. I literally fell out my chair when I saw that. When I was reading it, I laughed so hard because I was like, not because he bit somebody. It's the fact that you're a grown man and you you resort to biting somebody.
Body one. You're supposed to be this jacked up guy. Like, like what the fuck? What the fuck, man? Come on.
I didn't laugh. Like I said, I didn't laugh because he bit. Omega. I laugh because he's a grown man, basically acting like a little child, biting somebody, biting another grown adult, man adult.
Yeah, man. It's weird, man. This shit is it is a bitch move, isn't it? Now I think about it.
And then,
It's kind of a pussy bitch move.
they
I think
caused
about it.
other people to get suspended who were just simply trying to break it
To
up.
break it up, yeah, that was weird
Them
too.
suspended, you know.
I didn't get that part. Yeah, I was like, why are they getting in trouble for trying to break up a fight? But anyway, you know, moving on. So this is the segment where has AEW reached their ceiling? Yamari, have they reached their plateau of a 1.3 rating once a week and then drop down to 900,000 something, and they shoot back up every so often?
No, I don't think they reached silver. I think ever since the situation we just talked about happened, they've kind of been trying to figure out ways to change the format and the tone of things around it. They're trying to figure out ways to change some things around. Um, but it's I mean some of the stuff is that they're doing is still kind of like meh. It's some stuff
Yeah,
like it's only so much you can do with just bringing in somebody new every week or every month. Like to me, when I watch AEW, I don't really see a lot of storylines. I mean, and if they are storylines, it doesn't make sense to me. It's just kind of like it's put together, or you'll see a storyline be brought out of two people that they put together as sort of a dream match that people wanted to see, and then that's where you see line develop or whatever.
yes,
It's just like everything is all over the place still.
yeah. So these are the ratings for last week, I believe. They had a 1.3. I think they went up the week before. They had 990,000, and then a million, then over a million, then over a million for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 weeks after that 990,000, they were hitting a million. So the numbers started on the 20th, and it did start to go up, even though they hit a little bit dip on the 3rd of August.
Mhm.
They started really hitting a stride at the end of August into now, which is October. So they're averaging pretty close to a million, if not a million. So the numbers did go up. Their demographics did go up from 18 to 49 males and females, but it did dip lower on the female range. But it did go back up to 25 to 54. So the 50 plus, they have a really good numbers for the 50 plus demographic. So the numbers are increasing. Um, I think they're still fairly young of a company, so they're probably going to have to go through a lot of growing pains.
Yeah.
But to get that audience they're getting and the revenue and stuff they're getting, they're actually winning right now. So I can't say too many criticisms about it. From the booking side, I get it. They don't have a lot of TV. I think that's part of it. Is they just don't have a lot of TV. I mean,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
um, all right. So and every time some wrestler comes into AEW, I don't know for some reason or someone that's being built up. Let's feed her to Britt Baker, right?
Yeah.
Let's feed her to Britt Baker. So We have Soraya, formerly known as Paige, sexy ass, debuting, and it's like she's getting fed to Britt. Or I don't think Britt is going to win in this case, but I do believe. Like, can you put Tony Storm, who is your champion, against her? Can you elevate Jamie Hater, who is like over more? She walks out and gets a pop. Can you elevate Athena in a program? I mean, you see what I'm getting at? Like, this would be a
Yeah,
good spot for someone else
right.
to get the rub. Britt is already getting her. She's already getting her spot. She's got her spot.
So
So it's no need to take someone and elevate someone else with her, with Soraya. You know what I mean?
right. My thing is we could say that about nearly almost the whole entire, the whole entire women's division of AEW, except, Jade Cargill and Britt Baker. I mean, because everybody's just getting fed to them every week. You know, um,
Yeah,
especially Jade Cargill now. She's she's definitely getting fed in new and incomers too.
yeah,
I mean, this is they really need to work on that women's division altogether.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you can bring in as many former wrestlers from other promotions or whatever all you
yeah,
want, but you it still doesn't change the fact that you got a mess to clean up. You got a whole women's division. It's a lot of women in there. I mean, it's so much stuff they could be doing. You got two women's titles. You know, should definitely have a division for each one. Okay, who's going to be challenging for the women's TBS title? Who's going to be challenged for the AEW Women's World Championship? It's just a mess.
yeah,
It's just a mess right now.
yeah,
I was so excited. He was like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "I'm not doing that." But it's blue tongue. And so he goes, and he comes back, and he goes, "Oh, Liv said she'll do it if you do it." Oh well.
He said to me, "We do it if Silver does this."
Are you? What? You said, "Hey." Liv said she'd do it if you do it with her. You told her the opposite. You told her I'd do it if she.
Getting worse.
We got it done.
Apparently, 3 hours from now is when it's gonna hurt.
All right, so and then you can hear at the very end Scarlett Bordeaux saying it's going to really be painful 3 hours from now because she was looking at her phone. I thought it was kind of fucked up, to be honest. Now they got to go wrestle on the show now, and then because they did this challenge that they were thinking, and Austin is a really good guy, and he's probably going off the strength that Liv is her friend, his friend and stuff. So if someone says that, they're going off of like a loyalty to their family type group. You know what I mean? So if someone says some shit like that, he's like, oh, okay, cool. Liv wants to do it. We're gonna do it. You know what I mean? This is a community type theme, and with we're gonna keep it going like that. It's kind of fucked up that they both found out in that clip that neither one of them really wanted to do it. And so with that said, you get this shit, bro. You aren't this shit. Uh, Yeah, so you're the asshole of the week. And then let's pop it off. One last segment.
I can't wait to tell you all about what I've been up to lately. Thank you for reminding me, Rabbit. It started.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
So this brings us our what the fuck moment of the week. Okay, so what the fuck is going on with Bray Wyatt, man? Like, at first I was like really into this shit, and then like the second week happened, and even Denise is like, I'm not scanning no more damn QR codes. Like, I mean, it's getting to a point where Denise was tweeting out like, I'm not scanning no more fucking QR codes of this shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's to a point where it's just getting ridiculous now. And then I heard through a grapevine they're trying to push it all the way out to fucking January. Bruh, we got it, we get it. You doing this playing the White Rabbit song through the at Raws and shit and arena shows, and you got the QR codes, and you have the fucking you know White Rabbit shit like this right here. Yeah, that shit and location. We get it. It was kind of cool. We get it. It's you. We know it's you. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, we know you're doing the QR codes. We get it. It just come with me. Only you would do some shit like that. So what are we, what are we doing right now? Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what the fuck are we really doing right now, man? For real. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I stopped really. I started really caring for Bray Wyatt for a while. I just really started caring for him because,
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't know where he was going. Okay, he kept, basically pussyfooting around. Okay, I want to go here. Or no, I don't think I want to go there. Like he just kept, you know, BSing us and BSing everybody about, what was the next, decision or next move in his wrestling career. So he kept doing that for a while. So I just like, okay, no need to even think about Bray Wyatt anymore because he doesn't know what to do. He hasn't made up his mind. Fast forward to now, we've seen, the Rabbit being played on live events and off air on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. We've seen glitches and blackouts and stuff, doing the shows actual that's on the air. So, like you said, leading this all the way up to January, how is that going to make people want to even care about if Bray Wyatt's coming back or not? I mean, I would think it would be at Extreme Rules this weekend on Saturday. That seems like the perfect place to do it at. But they want to push all the way. If this is true, they want to push all the way to January. I don't think that anybody's going to really care about Bray Wyatt coming back at this point. Because you're basically asking your viewers to turn against Bray Wyatt returning. Because they're not going to care anymore. They're just not.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't man, it's just maybe Survivor Series at the very latest if they do this.
Yeah.
But because it's a more major pay-per-view
Right.
and extreme rules, but enough of this shit, man. We get it. We know who you are. We were excited. It's gonna get to a point where it's gonna get played out and get stupid. So with that said, man, you just gonna have to get this, man. It's coming your way, nigga. It's coming your way.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
So, so anyway, like, comment, subscribe, follow, tweet, retweet, and push those motherfucking buttons, man. At least give us a fucking like. You ain't gonna be able to comment on our shit because we know y'all gonna be toxic as a motherfucker on Twitter, and y'all gonna fucking retweet our shit and talk shit about us because we have a fucking opinion, and y'all go along with everything. We already know that. So nice try, motherfuckers. Nice try, motherfuckers.
And it's not just to one promotion of fans. It's to all the fans out there, regardless of what kind. You could be a Bedpack, you could be an AEW stand, you could be a WWE mark. It doesn't matter. We talk about you all.
Yep, and the same shit. And this is not for TV. This is the same shit we always talked about. We just never did it because y'all fuckers, man, will be like, oh, he's talking bad. He has a fucking opinion that is different than going along with shit because I'm fucking hypnotized to a fucking TV show and got to go along with every fucking thing a TV show does, because I wouldn't be a real fan if I didn't go along with everything, even though David pays his money and he supports it and spends money on software and 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 all kinds of stuff outside of just paying for a ticket, airplane tickets, hotels, and everything. But it wouldn't. I'm not a real person that's a supporter because I have a fucking opinion. So fuck you. I'm gonna fucking disable these comments, and I'm gonna so you can't see shit but retweet it, and that's it. And you're gonna watch us, and we're gonna be on the fucking head. We're gonna be on your fucking head, and we're probably gonna get a firestorm. But you know what? I'd rather have conscience in my mind to say what I want to say, and I'm going to say what I want to say and what I've been saying. And I know a lot of you been thinking. You know, you AEW's fans been thinking about the same thing I said about Impact. You've been thinking it. The same thing I said about WWE. You've been thinking that. You're just afraid to say it because you're going to lose followers on Twitter, or the WWE fan that you feel the same way about Impact. You feel the same way about AEW. You feel the same way. Are you Impact cult fans that that keeps anything that's criticism because we don't we they should be it's okay if they go run 50 people like a fucking glorified indie show. We get it. That's what you want, right? You want that shit. So, you know what? We get it. You want to be a glorified indie show. Okay, so we get it. But, I know y'all feel the same way about those other companies. Y'all just be afraid to say it sometimes. And I'll be on those forums or those wrestling sites, and I see your forums. So you'll be lying if you don't think I'm not telling you the truth. But you know what? At the end of the day, you can follow me, like me, comment, subscribe, tweet, retweet, but everything that man has said and I said, at the end of the day, at the end of the damn day, at the end of the day, ain't nothing but the savage motherfucking truth.
Live from planet Earth is the show where we give no fucks. We are savage and we are the truth.